Are you wondering about Fort Worth and how to get around and how big it is? Well, I'm going to show you where to live, where to have fun, where to play, how far it is from Dallas, from the airport, from all the sports events, even where to gamble. I'm going to show you all those things right now. I'm Dee Dee Galindo from the Fort Worth Homes for Sale team. And my partner, Deanna, and the team and I get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day. And we love it. So if you're looking to move to the Fort Worth or surrounding areas, please give us a call, text, email, or even a Zoom. And we'd love to show you around, show you all the places in Fort Worth and outside to live in, and where the best place is for you. And please, if you don't mind, would you like this video and subscribe for all the latest news on Fort Worth and the housing market. So I was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, and I know all the ins and outs, and I've seen it grow since I was a little girl. I've seen it grow north, south, east, and west. And really, there's so many places that you can go and live in and venture into, but knowing where those are kind of important. So I'm going to show you a complete guide and map of where things are, where you might want to live, where you might want to explore in relationship to other things in the area. So let's open up our map and get to it. So here we are looking at the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And actually, this whole area right here is called the DFW Metroplex. And really, it was named from Dallas-Fort Worth, DFW, and that's how the Dallas-Fort Worth, which is right here, airport, got its name, because it's in between the middle of Dallas and Fort Worth. And actually, this is the Tarrant County side, and this is the Dallas County side. And when we're talking about Fort Worth, we're talking about all this area over here on the Tarrant County side, because Fort Worth has just expanded and grown, and it really does encompass all this. Fort Worth has a population of 962,000 people, just short of 1 million. And depending on the publication that you look at, it's the 12th largest city in the United States. So it's pretty big. But we like to say that we're a big city with small town vibe. In fact, we're known as Cowtown. That's our nickname. And we got that because we have been dealing in the cattle industry since we were practically born. And I'll tell you that Fort Worth got its name from General William Jenkins Worth, and he had a post there called Fort Worth, and that's exactly where Fort Worth got its name. And actually, the Fort Worth Tarrant County Courthouse stands in the same spot that the camp stood, the main headquarters of Fort Worth was. So that was completed in 1895, and it's a beautiful building made out of granite, and still the courthouse today. And that's what's so unique about Fort Worth, is that we have a courthouse just like a small town city, and the downtown revolves around it, and yet we're a big city. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to talk to you about the different places in Fort Worth so you understand where they are located. First thing I want to point out again is that if you live in Fort Worth, if you want to go to Dallas, you can take I-30 or the Tom Landry Highway right here, straight shot to Dallas. Takes you about, depending on where you live in Fort Worth, it could take you 30 to 45 minutes. You can also take a train right from downtown Fort Worth to Dallas. It lets you off right there by American Airlines Center or other places, wherever you want to go, and you can take the train back. So it's really great. I've done that many times, and it's a really good experience. If you want to go to the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, you can just go up I-35 here to 820 and end up in the airport right here. Or you can take I-30 to 360 and go straight in the airport. Or you can take I-35 and go up to 170 to 114 to the other side of the airport. So if there's congestion and you're in a hurry, or you're in a different place, or depending on where you live in Fort Worth, that's how you can get to the Fort Worth or Dallas. Also want to point out where Arlington is. Arlington is considered just next to Fort Worth, a sister city. Right here is Arlington. That, of course, is where the Dallas Cowboys play, the Texas Rangers play, and there's lots to do in that area. And that's about a 20 to 30 minute drive depending on the traffic right there. Very easy to get to. And I'm going to let you know that Fort Worth has the north area and the south area has really been growing. So I'm going to show you on the map here Fort Worth proper and where it is so you can see. So this is Fort Worth right here, and you can see that it's kind of sporadic, right? There's little like Saginaw's right here, and it's not part of Fort Worth. Hazlitt's right here, it's not part of Fort Worth. There's different little areas, but let me just explain this. When you are in Fort Worth or in these areas, you are part of Fort Worth. Even though Saginaw is its own city, and so is Hazlitt, and on up north is Justin, it is still part of Fort Worth because it's on the Tarrant County side. So that's North Fort Worth, and if you look below, Fort Worth extends pretty south until the city of Burleson is right here in Crowley. And that's on the south side. And then on the west side, it goes about right here. And then you have Aledo, Hudson Oaks, and on to Weatherford. Here's Weatherford right down here. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Here's Weatherford. Here's Aledo, which is a town we'll be talking about. And here's all of Fort Worth. So you can just see all the little places that you can go to that are near Fort Worth. Well, first, I want to go and talk to you about the inside of Fort Worth. So we are Cowtown, and we have cattle drives still to this day. Every day we have some cattle drives in the morning and in the afternoon in the stockyards. So let me talk to you about where the stockyards are. You can take the road right from downtown Fort Worth and go right into the stockyards right here. So if you take that road from downtown Fort Worth, you can go straight to the stockyards. And I just did it yesterday, actually. It's pretty easy. And when you get to the stockyards, you can see Billy Bob's and you can see all sorts of things going on there. Fort Worth is pretty easy to get around. There is a Loop 820 that goes all the way around Fort Worth. And so you can take a freeway there or here, and you can hop on 820 and get to pretty much wherever you need to go. And of course, there's little streets in between and that help you get around. So Fort Worth is pretty easy to get around. And I want to talk to you about the inside of Loop 820 right now and tell you a few places that you can live and visit and just give you some information on that. So downtown, when you're downtown, there's a place called Sundance Square, and it's right there. It's kind of an area downtown. This is the Sundance Square right here. And a lot going on. Right now there's a Christmas tree at Christmas, and there's a little Sundance Square has fountains and all sorts of things that going on there. So here's Sundance Square right here. And inside Sundance Square, it's entertainment. There's an actual square that has places to sit, coffee. There's a nice restaurant there, Del Frisco's Grill. We actually have 2 radio stations right there in Sundance Square that you can, listen to the radio, sometimes get on the radio because it's so active. Restaurants all around there. It's really a great place to go visit the nightlife around Sundance Square. There's a restaurants and a comedy club. There's a playhouse, all sorts of things in Sundance Square that you can do for entertainment. It's just a great place to go and meet people and walk around downtown. We have a lot of condos and apartment living and just nice high rises with condos in it where you live at in downtown. Right next to that is, you're going to find the Cultural District. It's right here. Cultural District has all the museums, many of the museums actually. It's got the Kimball Art Museum and the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, the Amon Carter Museum of Art. And there's actually houses and things to live in right around here in the Cultural District right here. And brand new is Dickey's Arena. Dickey's Arena is just built a few years ago, and it's where they're having rodeos now, concerts. Not to forget about Will Rogers, which has been there forever and right around the corner. Still having things at Will Rogers. That's where the stock show is. And every January we have the Fort Worth Stock Show, and you can go and take your kids to pet the horses, exhibit if People come from all over and exhibit their animals and livestock, pigs, ducks, horses, bulls, all sorts of things. And of course, we have the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History, where also kids love to go. And while I'm here, I can't forget to talk about the beautiful botanic gardens. They are just a highlight of the city. They're the oldest botanic gardens in Texas, and they are just so beautiful to go visit. Lots of people go and just sit in the gardens and take pictures and love to see the gardens. But also, don't want to forget to mention that in downtown Fort Worth, we also have the water gardens that are so beautiful that you could visit there in the Trinity Park area. We have several parks all over Fort Worth, and of course, the Trinity Park right here is so beautiful. And inside the Trinity Park is the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens. It's right there off University. You can go visit it and see it, and it's just gorgeous. A lot of people go take pictures there for Christmas or weddings. Not as much anymore in downtown Fort Worth, but I've seen it, and especially over here in the stockyards. So I'm going to zoom out and tell you where the stockyards are. So here is Sundance Square, and here is the stockyards. Stockyards is, you can see in this photo here, Stockyards is still very active to this day. And it's just, let me zoom back out. So you saw Exchange Street right here. It goes through this middle part of the stockyards, and every day, twice a day, they do cattle runs for people to see. You can go take a picture on a horse, a bull, I mean. You can also go to Billy Bob's. Billy Bob's is still a wonderful place. I mean, it's one of the well-known. They have a mechanical bull you can ride. They have concerts there. It's got a bar in it. They have events there all the time. In fact, they have downtown in the stockyards, at least 2 or 3 times a year, they have concerts outside. They have the cattle drive, and it's just known for the spirit of Fort Worth right there. And every Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, you can walk up and down. It's a very crowded down Exchange. There's restaurants and clubs and bars, and people are happy. They're talking to you. You can eat some barbecue. There's famous Cattleman's restaurant down there, as well as H3, and all sorts of shopping. It's just a great place to go. A lot of tourists go there and stay down there, and they're actually still making it great down there and growing. So once you leave the stockyards, and I don't want to leave the stockyards without mentioning something very important. Joe T's Garcia's was started down there near the stockyards. Famous restaurant. The setting at Joe T's is so beautiful. It's beautiful inside and out. It's a garden atmosphere, and they have a very limited menu, but nobody cares because their margaritas are to die for. And they serve fajitas and they serve enchiladas. And right next door is what we used to call Joe T. Garcia's Bakery, but it's not called that anymore. It's just we locals. They do have a bakery in there where you can get homemade baked goods every day. And they also have a restaurant. I love to go eat breakfast there. Joe T's is open mostly at night, but you can go to Esperanza's restaurant and get baked goods and have wonderful, wonderful breakfast. I go there with my husband quite often. We love the breakfast there and the baked goods, and you can get empanadas and the sweetbreads and all sorts of things there. It's just a really good experience. And it's right next to the stockyards. We have River Ranch is also in the stockyards, which there's hold a lot of events there. It's so beautiful. It's a great place to go, just see what's going on. And as we leave the stockyards, I'm going to come back into Fort Worth and show you some of our other areas. So if you'll notice over here on this side of Fort Worth, these are one of our most prestigious neighborhoods to live in, is the Crestline neighborhood right here. We have Westover Hills right here. These are higher end neighborhoods, beautiful. There's Rivercrest Country Club right there. Then we have the Cultural District, and right next to that is Arlington Heights District. So beautiful. We have the Fort Worth Zoo near there, and TCU. And TCU, I did a video on TCU area that you can watch that. Fort Worth is one of the oldest zoos in Texas, and it is great. It is so wonderful to go visit that zoo and see all the animals there. They have great exhibits, and would love to take the kids and love to see all that. It's just a good time to visit in the heat or in the winter. They have at Christmas time, the zoo has a great lights display. They have a little train that goes all around the zoo, and it's just really pretty. The other neighborhoods, a little bit south of there, inside the 820 loop, we have, this is where TCU and the Bluebonnet Hills place right there. Tanglewood's right here. Westcliff is another amazing area right there around TCU. A really good area to go live in, and fun to have all those places around there to visit. Bluebonnet has a great bakery there. They have all restaurants and clubs there around the TCU area. University runs right through all this to get up. You can go up there and go all the way to downtown, get on University and 7th Street and just see all that. Another place that I want to show you about is over on the west side. There's Ridgely Hills right there. If you go south of Fort Worth, you're going to find the TCU, Texas Christian University, and around there you have the Bluebonnet Hills, Bluebonnet Place. You have prestigious Tanglewood community. Also, Westcliff is very prestigious as well. And then we also have the Fairmount Historic District. And there's a street called Magnolia that has a lot of restaurants and bars, and just you can walk down there. The Fairmount District is so beautiful. It's all these old houses that they actually keep looking historic. That is one of the rules of that community. So if you want to live near downtown and TCU, you can live in there and just know that your house is going to be wonderfully built. It may need some remodeling if they haven't remodeled it already, but it is a great place to live, so close to everything. A lot of people do move in that area, as well as all these other areas around TCU. Now I'm going to go over here to the west side. I want to point out some of these things on the west side of the block here. So as you head out of Fort Worth, you're going to see one of our great lakes over here is Benbrook Lake. And that is one of our big lakes in Fort Worth. We have another lake just a little north, which is Lake Worth, and Eagle Mountain Lake is up here. So these are all for boating. And of course, if you go toward the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, we have Grapevine Lake. All those are the lakes around here. I'm going to zoom out so you can see them. Like I said, we have Benbrook, Lake Worth, we have Eagle Mountain Lake, and then we have Grapevine Lake. And over here toward the Dallas side, we have another lake. So those are our lakes. And if I zoom in, I want to show you another community right outside of Fort Worth called Benbrook. It's kind of a little sleepy community that's growing. It's even growing west, and it's another small town within a small town. And right here is Mira Vista on the south side, a really nice area to live in. You can see all these older areas right here. And if we go west, you're going to hit Aledo, which it used to be just a little horse town, with a little main street in it. And now it's grown so much. It's very prestigious to live in Aledo, and have a great sports teams there. If you go further to Hudson Oaks, and also Weatherford. So those are kind of west. And then I'm going to go a little bit further north, and you can see we have Blue Mound over here on the northwest side, Eagle Mountain Lake. They're building all around here. All this is new build. You can live along the lake with some new builds as well as some old ones. And then I love to talk about North Fort Worth because it's grown so much. This area right here is called Alliance. And even though you see Alliance right here, all this whole corridor right here is pretty much Alliance. We have Hazlitt in it. We have Saginaw near it. There's shopping, and Presidio Village is right here. All along here, we have the Speedway up here in Alliance, the Texas Motor Speedway. So you can go visit. We have a Buc-ee's right there. If you know what Buc-ee's is, Buc-ee's is it's a gas station, but it is also a place to not shop. You can get great barbecue there. You can get lots of snacks. You can get flavored coffee. People love Buc-ee's. You should visit it. If you come to Texas, you have to go to a Buc-ee's. It's right next to the Speedway where there's restaurants, and we also have an outlet mall there. And the outlet mall has wonderful shopping and high-end stores, as well as deals on all sorts of stores. And then I want to point out this town right here is Roanoke. Roanoke is another small town that's really grown. We have Babe's Fried Chicken there. Babe's Fried Chicken is known throughout. They've actually expanded and opened up stores in Dallas and North Richland Hills down here. But it's fresh chicken, homemade vegetables, and you can't be on a diet and go there. You just can't, because you're going to eat lots of really good home cooking food. I also want to talk to you about, this is all part of Fort Worth right here. It's North Fort Worth outside the 820. And you might be in a different school district. So Fort Worth has its own school district, but when you start heading north, you're going to be in a different school district. You might be in Haltom City School District if you live in this part of Fort Worth. And let me show you that. So this part of Fort Worth might be Haltom City, and then this part of Fort Worth might be Keller Schools. And actually, that we call that Fort Keller because it's Fort Worth Keller Schools. Very desirable area, a lot of newer homes. And over here is Northwest ISD, over here in the Hazlet area. And I'm actually gonna zoom up here so you can see when you get to Roanoke and along Westlake and all that, that's Northwest ISD. Then on up here is Justin and Northlake and Argyle. So that's, we consider all that part of the Fort Worth area. And when you go south, I'm going to go south, we start heading into Crowley and Burleson, lots of shopping, and it's really expanding, lots of land down there. We have Kennedale here. And to be honest, you can get so much land still in here. You can get great brand new homes, and you just hop, skip, and jump from Fort Worth up 35 to get to Fort Worth. And you can actually go 20 right here to get all the way to Dallas. You can go to 20 to Arlington if you want to go to see some sports or shop, or if you work there. So there's all sorts of spaces in Fort Worth. In downtown, I do want to mention Bass Performance Hall, built by the Bass Brothers, and it's got amazing performances there. It's a beautiful building just to see. And I also want to mention Casa Manana. Casa Manana is one of the first theaters in the round, and you can actually go there and see the little dome on it. You can see this picture. So you're sitting all around the stage, and it's one of the first, and it's so great to go. They're still doing productions all year round there. And they actually teach children performance there, as well as have acting classes for adults. While we're in this district of Will Rogers and Dickey's, you can see Will Rogers Coliseum right here. All these are the barns that go with it for the Fort Worth Stock Show. Right next to it is the Fort Worth Museum. You can see the National Cowgirl Museum. You can see Dickey's Arena. This is pretty new, only a few years old, and they're holding rodeos there. And all this is right near the Fort Worth Botanic Garden, so you can see it's all right there in the Cultural District. Fort Worth has so many parks and green spaces. In fact, Fort Worth has a total of 263 parks, with 179 being in neighborhoods. So it is a really green space. You can go there, you can walk downtown, you can go to a neighborhood lake. If you want to be outside, there's so many places to go. And actually, I'm going to show you on the map. There is the Trinity Park right here, and you can see this follows the Trinity River. This is the Trinity River going through the park, and there's different forks. There's a fork of the Trinity River that goes by Rockwood Park, and you can keep going, and you're going to go by Fossil Creek Park. There's just a lot of spaces, and of course we have the Japanese gardens are in the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens, which is a beautiful place to go visit. Many people go there during the summer and walk around, but also you'll see wedding photos there, prom photos, all sorts of family photos being taken there. And it's a huge park for everyone to go, and so much to see and do there. And then we also, just right outside the A20 border, is the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge. And you can see it's along the Eagle Mountain Lake. And that place, schools go on field trips there because it has so many things to offer, miles and miles and miles of land to hike, and there's even alligators there. There's all sorts of nature, and there's dinosaur tracks there. There's a lot to see. It is a really nice place to hike and go there for a day and spend the day and just learn about nature. Fort Worth, just, who knew Fort Worth had so much to offer? And I wanted to back out and show you, because remember I talked about how big Fort Worth was, not just in the middle and little part of it within 820, it's also on the outskirts of 820. And actually, if I zoom out this map, you'll see that to get from Fort Worth to get to Oklahoma City, right, or Oklahoma border is right around here. And the Oklahoma border, they have actually, right there on the border is a casino. So it's about an hour away to get to the casino. And you can, if you're a gambler, we don't have gambling in Texas, but we have it right over the Oklahoma border. And you can go there and get your gamble on. But I love Fort Worth. I love all the things about it, and just hope that you'll come visit it and see all these wonderful places. There's a building going on all over Fort Worth still. If you like new construction, if you like an older home that that's been remodeled, there's plenty of those too. You can find price ranges in Fort Worth depending on if there's land, anywhere from as low as $200,000 for fixer-up houses on up to millions. And we have still acres and acres of ranches available. If you like farm and ranch, then we can get you a farm and ranch, and you can have cows, you can have bulls, you can breed horses, you can do all those things here. But if you're a city person and you want to live in the city and the suburbs, we have that too. And we have the Fort Worth downtown condos and downtown life. We have good transportation down there. So come on down to Fort Worth and let us show you around. I hope you've enjoyed this video today and it's shown you a little bit about Fort Worth. Sometimes when you're from a place, it's really hard to tell all about it. But when you come to town and you're looking for a place to live, what I do is talk to you about your needs and wants, and then I show you around and I give you a little tour, and you can see sort of the different places that you want to live. So why don't you give our Fort Worth Homes for Sale team a call, text, email, or a Zoom, which I'd love to hear from you, and let us help you find your home. And I definitely look forward to showing you around Cowtown and just showing you what all Fort Worth has to offer, all the surrounding areas. So I'll see you next time.